Russia is not only using drones and missiles in this conflict, disinformation is one of its most powerful weapons. There's no shortage of examples. Putin's claim in his New Year's speech that the West was preparing for aggression in Ukraine. The insistence that atrocities in Bucha were staged, and perhaps one of the most striking, an accusation that Ukraine was planning to detonate a dirty bomb on its own territory as a setup of Russia. CNN's Claire Sebastian reports on what this bizarre claim reveals about Russian tactics.
No one has ever successfully detonated a dirty bomb. So to help us understand Russia's accusations and the myths,
put that underneath.
David Butler, a retired British Army officer, an expert in radiological weapons, has agreed to do a basic demonstration.
Ready?
Butler used regular explosives here to disperse a kilo of plain flour. A dirty bomb would also use regular explosives to disperse a radioactive substance. Very different, though, from a nuclear bomb, which creates a complex chain reaction by splitting atoms. So, David, it's pretty windy conditions today, but what does this teach us about how a radioactive substance could spread from a dirty bomb?
The main aim of a dirty bomb is to spread as much irradiated shrapnel and irradiated dust particles as far as you can go. So the flour here demonstrates what would be left around the actual seat of the explosion, but it's the radioactive footprint on the ground that causes the long-term effect.
It is very simple. We even know where they are manufacturing it.
Russia's accusation Ukraine was allegedly planning to detonate a dirty bomb on its own territory to frame Russia seemed to come out of the blue. Or did it? First came state media reports citing trusted sources, then unscheduled weekend phone calls by the Russian defense minister to other nuclear-armed powers. Well-produced graphics followed, detailing the alleged sites where a dirty bomb could be built, even the exact radioactive isotopes to be used.
This looks as though it's been planned in great detail over many weeks, if not months. This is straight out of the sort of Russian playbook in Syria. The Russians and the Syrians would suggest that the rebel forces were about to create a chemical attack. And it was absolutely the Syrian regime that were doing it.
While inspectors from the UN's nuclear watchdog have now visited the sites in Ukraine that Russia named and found nothing suspicious, that has not allayed fears in the West that Russia could still use this as a pretext to escalate, especially after recent losses and retreats. One area of major concern, according to experts, is the Zaporizhzhia nuclear power plant, which Russia controls.
One of the after effects of a dirty bomb is people breathing in the hazard, the radiated particles.
While the physical impact of a dirty bomb depends on the amount of radioactive substance used, the power of the explosives and the weather, there is one guaranteed effect: fear. This was Moscow in 1995. Chechen rebels buried a radioactive parcel at a popular park. Russian authorities rushed to reassure the public it posed no threat.
Is there an element, do you think, that they have launched this now very elaborate accusation against Ukraine of a dirty bomb because it is something that has previously been associated with terror groups?
Well, certainly the Russian propaganda and disinformation campaign is in full flow, and trying to depict the Ukrainians as Nazis and terrorists is absolutely what Putin's trying to do.
The psychological impact of this carefully chosen accusation in itself a powerful weapon. Claire Sebastian, CNN, near Salisbury, England.